Guys, today we will discuss the chapter solutions, lesson number 3. In previous lesson, that is in lesson number 2, we discussed Raoult's law. Based on the Raoult's law, differentiation of solutions into ideal solutions and non-ideal solutions. Again, non-ideal solutions are again divided into two types. That is, the solutions that show positive deviation from Raoult's law and the solutions that show negative deviation from Raoult's law. Okay. Today, in this class, we will discuss the azeotropic mixers. What are azeotropic mixers? And the colligative properties. Okay, azeotropic mixers and colligative properties. Okay, so what are azeotropic mixers? Azeotropic mixer is liquid mixer. Azeotropic mixer is a liquid mixer in which the composition of the components is same in liquid phase and vapor phase. Okay, so the ratio of the components present in the mixer, in the liquid mixer, will be the same in vapor phase and liquid phase. That type of mixer is called azeotropic mixer or constant boiling mixer. That means the boiling point will be constant. That means the two components cannot be separated by fractional distillation. Right? So what is azeotropic mixer? The mixer of liquids. The mixer of liquids whose composition is same, in both liquid state and vapor state. In both liquid state and vapor state is called azeotropic mixer. Is called azeotropic mixer. Okay, so the component liquids cannot be separated by fractional distillation. Okay, so by fractional distillation we cannot separate these two liquids. When we use fractional distillation to separate liquids whose boiling points differ by more than 40 degrees Celsius are separated by distillation. If it is less than 40%, then we use fractional distillation. Okay, so in fractional distillation also we cannot separate the liquid components from the mixer. Okay, if that mixer is azeotropic mixer, right? So here there are again two types of azeotropic mixers are there. Minimum boiling azeotropic mixer, and maximum boiling azeotropic mixer. The minimum boiling azeotropic mixer will show maximum positive deviation from Raoult's law. Okay, so this mixer shows large positive deviation. deviation from ideal behavior. From ideal behavior. Okay. They show large positive deviation from ideal behavior. If we take example for the minimum boiling azeotropic mixture, it is rectified spirit. It is rectified spirit. So what is rectified spirit? It is 95% ethanol. 95% ethyl alcohol. What is meant by 95% ethyl alcohol? In that mixture, what about the remaining 5%? That remaining 5% will be water. Okay. So if we take 100 grams of that solution, that mixture, in that mixture 95 grams of ethyl alcohol and 5 grams of water are present. Okay. So what is this rectified spirit? Ethyl alcohol is prepared by fermentation process, okay, in which molasses is used. Molasses first is added to, or it is diluted to get 10% of solution, 10% of a solution, and yeast is added. After 2 days, if we take after 2 days, 16% ethyl alcohol is formed. That is called mash. Okay. So if it is fractional, if it undergoes fractional distillation, then after some time we will get 95% ethyl alcohol, which is called rectified spirit. Okay. So this rectified spirit, in this rectified spirit, the 5% water cannot be removed by fractional distillation. Why it cannot be removed by fractional distillation? The composition of ethanol and water will be same in liquid phase and vapor phase. That means boiling point becomes same for ethyl alcohol and water at this composition. So when we use fractional distillation, if there is difference in boiling point of the two liquids, but here that will be same. So this is also known as a constant boiling mixture. Azeotropic mixture is also known as constant boiling mixture. Okay, so as we cannot separate ethyl alcohol and water by fractional distillation, the 5% of ethyl water is removed by passing this mixture over quicklime, CaO. Okay, so that CaO absorbs water and 100% alcohol is obtained, which is called as absolute alcohol. That 100% ethyl alcohol is called absolute alcohol. Okay, right. And another type of azeotropic mixture is maximum boiling azeotropic mixture. Maximum boiling azeotropic mixture. What is meant by maximum boiling azeotropic mixture? If we take as maximum boiling azeotropic mixture, this mixture shows large negative deviation from ideal behavior. Okay. For this example, for this one is HNO3. 68% HNO3 plus 32% water. Okay, this liquid mixture acts as a maximum boiling azeotropic mixture. So azeotropic mixture is again of two types based on the large positive deviation or the large negative deviation. They are minimum boiling azeotropic mixture and maximum boiling azeotropic mixture. That is nothing but here the boiling point will be less. Okay, here the boiling point will be more. Of course it is constant. Minimum boiling point is constant and maximum boiling point is also constant. So in this process also we cannot separate these two liquids by fractional distillation. Okay, I think you might have understood about azeotropic mixture. Okay, next one, colligative properties. Colligative properties. What are colligative properties? Colligative properties. Colligative properties can be defined as the properties which depend only on number of particles of solute, but not on the nature of solute or solvent, are called colligative properties. Okay, so the properties that does not depend on the nature of solute and solvent, but they depend only on the number of solute particles. Okay, so this is the definition of colligative properties. What are colligative properties? Relative lowering of vapor pressure or lowering of vapor pressure, elevation in boiling point, depression in freezing point, and osmotic pressure. These four properties are called colligative properties. What are those colligative properties? Relative lowering of vapor pressure or lowering of vapor pressure, elevation in boiling point, elevation means increase, and depression in freezing point, depression means decrease, decrease in the freezing point, and then osmotic pressure. We will discuss these four colligative properties one by one. Okay, first one is relative lowering of vapor pressure. Relative lowering of vapor pressure. Relative lowering of vapor pressure. So what is vapor pressure? We have already discussed about vapor pressure. What is vapor pressure? The pressure caused by the vapor of a liquid when that vapor is in equilibrium with the liquid is called vapor pressure. This vapor pressure increases with the temperature. That vapor pressure increases with the temperature. So, take a vapor pressure on y-axis and temperature on x-axis. Temperature on x-axis. The vapor pressure increases with the temperature. Vapor pressure increases with the temperature. So, at a particular temperature, the vapor pressure becomes 1 atmosphere. The vapor pressure becomes 1 atmosphere at a particular temperature. At a particular temperature means, okay, what is the temperature? If we draw a parallel line to the temperature axis, it cuts the graph at one point, and from that point, if we draw a parallel line to the y-axis, it cuts the temperature axis at some point. Okay, so this temperature is called boiling point. This temperature is called boiling point of that liquid. So how to define boiling point? The temperature at which the vapor pressure of a liquid becomes equal to the atmospheric pressure, 1 atmosphere or 76 centimeters of Hg or 760 mm of Hg, is called boiling point. That is the definition of a boiling point. Okay, relative lowering of vapor pressure. That means if a non-volatile solute is added, if a non-volatile solute is added to a pure solvent, then the vapor pressure of the liquid, then the vapor pressure of that pure liquid decreases. Okay, that means now when this solute is added, that solvent becomes a solution. Okay, if we take the vapor pressure of that solution, that will be less when compared to the vapor pressure of the pure solvent. That difference is called lowering of a vapor pressure. That difference is called lowering of a vapor pressure. So, what is lowering of vapor pressure? How to define lowering of a vapor pressure? Lowering of a vapor pressure. The difference between the vapor pressure of pure liquid, and vapor pressure of a solution of a non-volatile solute. How that solution is formed? By dissolving a non-volatile solute. So, the difference between the vapor pressure of pure liquid or pure solvent and the vapor pressure of solution of a non-volatile solute. Non-volatile solute means conversion of the nature of conversion into gas is less. Okay, so if such solid is added to the pure solvent, then vapor pressure decreases. That decrease in the vapor pressure is called lowering of a vapor pressure. The difference between the vapor pressure of the liquid and the vapor pressure of the solution of that non-volatile solute is called lowering of a vapor pressure. Say P0 is the or P1 naught is the vapor pressure of the pure solvent, and P1 is the vapor pressure of the solution. That solution, vapor pressure of that solution decreases, means it is less. Okay, so it is more. For pure solvent vapor pressure is more. The difference P1 naught minus P1 becomes a lowering of a vapor pressure. Right? Next, what is meant by relative lowering of a vapor pressure? So, relative lowering of a vapor pressure, or you say that is P. Okay, so P naught minus, or take it as P naught. So where here P naught is equal to vapor pressure of a pure solvent, and P is the vapor pressure of a solution. Right. Relative lowering of a vapor pressure, or LVP. Relative lowering of a vapor pressure. What is that relative lowering of vapor pressure? The ratio of, it can be defined as the ratio of lowering of vapor pressure to the vapor pressure of pure solvent or pure liquid. Vapor pressure of pure solvent is called relative lowering of a vapor pressure. So, RLVP, relative lowering of vapor pressure, is equal to ratio of lowering of vapor pressure. What is lowering of vapor pressure? P naught minus P by, okay, ratio of lowering of vapor pressure to the vapor pressure of pure solvent. Vapor pressure of pure solvent is P naught. Okay, so this P naught minus P by P naught, P naught minus P by P naught is called as a relative lowering of vapor pressure. This is one colligative property. Okay, that means this RLVP depends only on the number of particles of the solute, but not on the nature of solute or solvent. Okay, say P naught is the why the vapor pressure of solution which contains non-volatile solute decreases. First we will discuss that one, right? So why it decreases? If we take a pure solvent, okay, the number of particles on the surface will escape from the surface and enter into the space. Okay, so more number of particles are present if it is pure solvent. But if a non-volatile solute is added, some of the particles of a solvent are replaced by the non-volatile solute particles. When the surface of the liquid are occupied by non-volatile solute, then what happens? The number of solvent particles that enter into vapor state decreases. As the number of particles decreases, vapor pressure also decreases. The vapor pressure also decreases. So when non-volatile solute is added, vapor pressure decreases. Okay, that is called lowering of vapor pressure. Right? That decrease is called lowering of vapor pressure. Say P naught is the vapor pressure of pure solvent. Let P is the vapor pressure of the solution. Vapor pressure of the solution. Okay. So here one is non-volatile solute. Only solvent will have the volatile nature. Okay. That particles will cause a vapor pressure. So that particles cause vapor pressure. Right. So P is equal to P naught according to Raoult's law. P is equal to P naught into X, where X is equal to mole fraction. Okay, where X is equal to mole fraction of the solvent. Where X is equal to mole fraction of the solvent.